Okay, this is the Epicurean lecture. Epicurus is born, it dies 300 years before Christ is born, and he dies at the age of 72 of kidney stones. His life is, he starts studying philosophy at 14, so any young person can begin to study philosophy. Does his military service at 18. At 32, opens his commune. And anyone can come into the commune as long as they agree on the 4 maxims, and he accepts women and slaves. But otherwise, if you don't agree on the 4 maxims, you don't have to come in. And basically, right, he's retreating from the world, he's being self-sufficient, and if you wanted a slogan for the Epicureans, it's live unknown. It's not like what Magdan's doing, trying to make himself on YouTube. It's don't let anybody know that you exist. Stay away from them. What are the 4 maxims? Don't fear death. Don't fear the gods. What's good is easy to get. What's terrible is easy to endure. The first one is don't fear death.
Oh, he's right there. Sorry.
Don't fear death. Epicurus thinks like we do. We're just a bunch of atoms. And initially, there were atoms falling through empty space. Atoms and the void. And then, for no reason whatsoever, one of the atoms swerved and hit another atom and made the world. So, for example, a hydrogen atom was floating down. It swerved and hit another hydrogen atom, that's H2, and they swerved and hit an oxygen atom, that's O, and you get H2O, which is water. We're just a bunch of atoms. The world is an accident, which means that there's no intention behind it. It just happened. Right? It's not a mistake. It's not as though there was somebody intending something and they botched it. No. It just happened. It's an accident, right? It's an accident. What are we? We're just a bunch of atoms. I have heart atoms that are different from the rest of my body atoms in that my heart atoms are round and smooth and feel fear and joy. The rest of me you can cut off and you can cauterize and I'm okay. But once my heart stops, I'm dead. What happens to me when I'm dead? I'm just a bunch of atoms and my atoms dissolve. They can no longer hold together. I'm dead. My atoms dissolve into the earth and the birds eat the worms from the earth, and will I ever live again? It's impossible. Right? My parents could never be born again. Will I ever be born again? I'll never be born again. Never be born again. This is a fortuitous accident. Right? Where do you come from? Your parents were having sex, and they had sex an awful lot of times, right? Protected or unprotected. And then all of a sudden, whoops, it was an accident, right? Look at all the people that says, we're trying to have a baby, right? They're just screwing like everybody else, hoping for an accident. You're an accident. Yet, it's like totally, it'll never happen again. So what should we do? Is there a point to life? No. We should enjoy our leisure. There's nothing to do, there's nothing to be accomplished. The whole darn thing was an accident. So many people die without ever having enjoyed their leisure. Should I fear death? No. What am I? I'm a conglomeration of atoms. What do I know? The only thing I know is my atoms encountering other atoms. When I'm dead, my atoms are dissolving, so my atoms can't encounter any other atoms, so I won't know I'm dead. Death is nothing to us. For when death is present, we are not. Why should I fear it? Do I remember what it was like before I was born? No. Am I going to have any consciousness after I'm dead? No, I'm just a bunch of atoms and they're going to dissolve. Don't fear death. And right away we're free from so many fears of other people, right? We've achieved that tranquility because that's it. And there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's kind of a unique and wonderful thing. Don't fear death. Don't fear the gods. Are there gods? There have to be gods because I can't think of anything that doesn't exist, right? So there's a centaur, a mythical creature, which is a horse and a man. But both a horse and a man do exist, and we're just combining them. So if I think of a god, then there must be a god, and probably while I'm sleeping, the god comes doot down and in some way touches me. And consequently, yes, there are gods. But you got to really think about the concept of the gods. They are blessed and indestructible, right? They're blessed, which means they're just like, they're joyful. They're in La La Land. They're totally happy, right? They're blessed. And they're indestructible, like us, right? Unlike us, which our atoms dissolve, their atoms don't dissolve. They don't take trouble, and they don't give trouble, right? They don't take trouble. They're not going to take the trouble to make us. Do you like to work? MacDan doesn't like to work. It's hard to work, right? It's bad enough that we have to work in the garden, right? But we have to, right? For our own sustenance, but, right? Right? I'm a god, so consequently I'm going to go to work, right? They don't take trouble. They did not take the trouble to make us. Who made us? I told you. Our parents made us. Remember, we're an accident. God didn't have anything to do with it. There's no intention behind it. They didn't take the trouble to make us. Look at the God in the Bible, right? He worked so hard on the seventh day, he has to sleep. He's so tuckered out. Is that a God? Right? They don't take trouble and they don't give trouble. Again, look at right? These gods don't care about you. They don't make, they didn't make you, You're like an insect to them. It's like they're in La La Land. They're having a good time. They are blessed, right? They're just enjoying. They're not going to punish you. They don't care. They're not going to give you any trouble. They're not going to answer your prayers, right? Why in the world would they listen to you? They don't even care about you, right? They don't need your sacrifices, right? And look at the God in the Bible. Do you think it's fun to sit there and get angry and smite people? Jeez, are you happy when you're angry? You're blessed when you're angry. It's like, that's no kind of God. If you really think about the concept of a God, right, then the gods didn't make us. So why in the world should we fear them? Why should we waste our time praying to them? I told you, you're an accident. But, right, Maxim 1, don't fear death. Maxim 2, don't fear the gods. So if you're in those two categories, don't even bother to come in.
Don't come in?
To the garden, right? Because we can only have like-minded people here. That's why we're hiding from those types, right? Well, let's get the concept of the garden here. They're weird out there. They think weird. But I've already told you how we think. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Okay. Live unknown, right? Don't let them know what we think. If they come in, we'll tell them. If they don't like it, they can go. Okay. Don't fear death. Don't fear the gods. What's good is easy to get. What's terrible is easy to endure. What's good? Well, nice atoms. What's bad? Harmful pain, right? What do we want? No pain, right? It's, nice atoms, right? No pain. That's all we want. No pain. And no pain's easy to get. What's terrible? pain. That's the fourth maxim. What's terrible is easy to endure. Because either it ceases or you do. So if you're in terrible, terrible pain, hold on. Don't call the ambulance. Hold on. And the pain will go away, or you'll be dead and consequently out of pain, because the only thing you can feel is your atoms, and your atoms will disperse. So hold on. Like, think about throwing up. Like, how does pain really work, right? Pain works like this. How do you throw up? Well, you lie in bed for a while, like 30 minutes, and then all of a sudden you don't feel too good. So it kind of goes up.
Yeah.
And when it's at its height, you throw up, right? And then you feel real good, don't you? And you go right back down. And you can lie there for hours, and maybe you'll never throw up again. It goes like that. That's what pain goes like.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had a trouble with your knee or your foot? Well, you feel it a little bit, but, right, you can ignore it. And if it's super, super, super intense, hold on. Because either it will cease, the pain will go away, or you'll die and you won't be in pain anymore. Don't call an ambulance, okay? Okay, so now if you've agreed to these three, which I think you have, what's good is easy to get. What's good is easy to get. What's good? No pain. So we have to look at pains. And they're sometimes there's natural pains, like the pain of hunger, the pain of thirst, and the pain of cold. Right? The pain of hunger. What happened? Well, I ate something, but my atoms went out of me, and now my stomach's empty. What do I have to do? Fill my stomach with atoms. Does it matter what I eat? No. I can eat, strawberries, lettuce, right? Once my stomach is filled, can I increase my no pain? No. If I increase it, then I've overeaten and I will be uncomfortable. The only thing I can do is vary my no pain, vary what I eat, or adorn my no pain, right? Put little sprinkles on the cookies or something. But all I have to basically do is fill my stomach with atoms. Is that hard? Hardly. In the garden, we already did it, right? It's not hard, right? Do I need a steak? Do I need to go to Big Mac? No. No. All I need is to put atoms in my stomach. I'm thirsty. Does it matter what I drink? Well, I could drink wine. I could drink water. Is it easy to get water? I have a bucket over there that's drawn it. We could try to purify it, right? It rains, right? Right? If I'm thirsty, I'll find it. I'm cold. All it means is that I've got to put some atoms against my atoms. Can I wear a book? Can I wear a newspaper? Can I get some, right? A sheep? It doesn't matter. A tent, right? Is it always available? Yeah, I can go down to the thrift store, right? Not hard. Trade them a couple of carrots, right? So I have necessary natural desires to get out of the pains of hunger, thirst, and cold. These are necessary natural desires. It's nature's warning saying, Nancy, Nancy, eat something. Nancy, Nancy, drink something. Nancy, Nancy, you're cold. Because if I don't, I will die. Right? So these are necessary natural desires. There's another natural desire that I have. It's kind of a pain. And it's natural, but it's unnecessary. And what's that? Sex. Right? It's kind of a pain, but nobody ever died from not having sex. And sex never did anybody any good, and you're lucky if it didn't harm you. This is true, right? If you don't get a disease, you get pregnant. And then you have to go through labor, and then the kid hates you for making it, and you say you were an accident, and they say, that means you didn't love me. You know what I mean? It's like you throw all the meaning on them, and you were just an accident. Don't have sex. So the Epicureans aren't, you know, like, dumb. It's a natural desire, but it's an unnecessary natural desire. And then there's another pain that I have, and that's fear of other men. Every time I see some other guy, you know, I'm afraid. I really am, because they're weird, right? But what should I do if I'm walking down the street and the guy's walking up the street and it's midnight? I cross the sidewalk, right? Yeah, I just avoid him, right? Am I going to try to convince him of Epicureans or anything? No, I just stay in my cute little house right here, and I say, hi, but do I talk to him? No. Do I know anything about him? No. Do I want to? Absolutely not. I'm afraid of other men, because from what cause do we usually die? Other men. Other men. Right? Why am I likely to run out of water even? Other men. Right? Wars. Right? Just stay away from them. And every other desire is a desire based on groundless opinion. Is there anything else you want? Then it's a desire based on groundless opinion. Do you want $1 million? Do you want to be famous? Do you want children? Do you want a house? It's a desire based on groundless opinion. Do you want a job? Do you want a haircut? It's a desire based on groundless opinion. The majority of men hold desires based on groundless opinion, and that's why we don't associate with them. We're afraid of them because they're likely to hurt us. Don't forget that Epicurus served in the military at 18. Right? What's good is easy to get. If it's hard to get, it probably isn't good. If it's hard to get, it probably isn't good. Now, I've got a body and I've got this soul, right? My heart atoms that feel fear and joy, right? Fear of other men, but there's a possibility of joy. My body lives in the now. If I hit you, you feel your pain in the now. But you can't feel a body pain in the past, right? I've got some scars, I'm sure you do. But can I summon it? Can I summon a toothache? No, it's in the past. And am I going to feel a pain in the future? I have no idea. I can only feel a physical pain, a body pain in the now. But I have a soul. And the soul lives in the past, in the present, and in the future. So I can recall someone that you love that is dead, and you will feel that pain. You can feel spiritual pain now, right? You can be worried about the future, right? So you can feel soul pain in the past, in the present, and in the future. So, now this is an ethics. What do I want? I want no pain, right? And it's easy to get no pain. And I'm not going to seek for anything else other than that no pain. Does it matter what I do? If I were to kill MacDan right now, does it really matter? No. And if I did it swiftly, right, he wouldn't be in any pain, right? He wouldn't even know it happened. Is he important? No, he's an accident. Why don't I do it? I would worry that in the future his parents might come after me, right? Even if it, right, enters my fancy to kill him, and it doesn't even matter, I'm kind of thinking about the soul pain that I'm already having in the future by thinking what would happen to me. And I might have soul pain about the past because I would think, oh, well, this happened so I spent before I killed it. Can I do a line of cocaine? Doesn't matter, right? I'm living here in the garden. Am I going to go out and seek it? No, right? If someone offers it to me, sure, fine. If someone offers it to me, domain the wheat, but am I going to go seek it? No, right? What's good is easy to get, right? Suppose I had an accident and we had baby Nancy. Baby Nancy was inside me. I'm thinking,
That's crazy.
all right, what should I do? It was an accident, and the Epicureans already told me not to have sex, but I screwed up and I had an accident. Okay. Should I abort baby Nancy? Well, it doesn't really matter. She's just a bunch of atoms. Would it be better to go through that smaller pain now than have baby Nancy screaming at me for the next 30 or 40 years hating me? I don't know, right? Or would it better to have baby Nancy scream at me for the next 30, 40 years so that I wouldn't go through the pain of thinking, well, maybe baby Nancy would have been really nice and not screamed at me even though it turned out wrong. What do I do? Well, maybe baby Nancy could be my friend. And then I might experience joy. Friendship dances around the world, reminding us all to wake up to blessedness. If we have friends, then we're blessed like the gods. And philosophy is the only thing that you enjoy while you're doing it, right? When I'm working, right, it's kind of hot there. But when I'm doing philosophy, I have a good time. I think it's funny, right? It's the only thing that you can enjoy while you're doing it. And if you have like-minded people, right, who really think the way I just said, what's good is easy to endure. I mean, what good is easy to get, and all the rest of it, then you could really have a commune, and people could do philosophy, and you could enjoy your leisure. There's nothing to be accomplished in this world. Of course, we have to take care of ourselves, right? We're not living off others, right? We're supporting ourselves. But afterwards, what's the purpose? Enjoy. And that's it.